Picaroon Highhand, the Lawkeeper, Sage of Candlekeep, and Master of the Highhand Spire, is a figure of small significance to those who know him, though his life story, a tall tale of a hobbit thief's journey to immortality, remains largely unknown on Toril. Transformed into the immortal being known as Rune, an immortal of the sphere of thought, Picaroon's tale defies the expectations of his usually reserved kin. Born in the northernmost city of Luarin, Fasriel, Picaroon's early years were shaped by the bustling trade and commerce of his family's merchant enterprise. Fasriel, famed for its rich farmlands and delectable red rhubarb, is a thriving hub in the shining south. Though never lacking in wealth, Picaroon developed a taste for the thrill of lockpicking and burglary, driven by a fascination with rare and magical items. Picaroon's unusual height, a result of his mixed human and halfling heritage, set him apart from other Lightfoot halflings. Although his family, involved in trade with humans, supported him, whispers and curious glances followed him throughout his youth. Raised by great aunts and uncles who eventually passed away while Picaroon remained unchanged, the mystery of his lineage deepened, fueling his curiosity and eventual path to immortality. As he grew older, Picaroon began to frequent more dangerous circles, eventually becoming involved with a local thieves association. During this time, he earned the nickname Rune and adopted the symbol of a skeletal hand. His talents in identifying and appraising magical items quickly made him a valuable asset within the organization, allowing him to amass a small fortune through the trade of exotic and magical goods. Picaroon's legitimate dealings, particularly with local wizards, further cemented his status, leading to a fateful encounter with a wizard who would alter the course of his life. After decades, the wizard recognized Picaroon's extraordinary longevity and revealed that his bloodline somehow seemed tied to brass dragons. For several years, Picaroon travelled to Var the Golden to meet with brass dragons there and had many adventures rescuing and forming a strong bond with the hatchling Trasqueniobar. During his time among the brass dragons, Picaroon formed a strong bond with the young dragon Trasqueniobar, who had been polymorphed into a halfling by a mischievous sorcerer. Their shared adventures, from retrieving a rare gemstone to outwitting a powerful lich, solidified their friendship and showcased Picaroon's cunning and bravery. These experiences among the dragons not only shaped Picaroon's skills, but also deepened his understanding of his own draconic heritage. Yet, even as he forged these bonds and gained new insights into his own nature, Picaroon never forgot his roots. When word reached Picaroon that his old wizard mentor was nearing the end of his life, he returned to Fasriel only to find the wizard's apprentices locked in a bitter struggle over his spellbooks. During the ensuing conflict, a near-fatal encounter with a phantasmal force spell left Picaroon gravely injured, forcing him to flee to Estegund, where he would find refuge and a new direction in life. In Estegund, Picaroon found a new home, far from the conflicts and dangers that had plagued him in Luarin. The warm climate and rich culture of commerce were familiar to him, yet the kingdom's veneration of the Adama, the One, introduced him to a new way of thinking. Here, Picaroon honed his skills with a quarterstaff and a light crossbow, learning the arts of gathering food and cooking and delving into the philosophy of unity and balance that underpinned Estegund's society. This period of peace and reflection allowed Picaroon to develop the keen intellect and wisdom that would later define him as the Sage of Candlekeep, grounding his scholarly pursuits in a philosophy that embraced the interconnectedness of all existence. After a time, Picaroon returned to the family business. Now older than any member of his family, he became an honoured elder who was more than welcome in any branch of the family's extensive holdings and warehouses across the lands, undertaking journeys that took him as far as the sprawling metropolis of Calimport. Picaroon Highhand's fascination with the ancient city of Calimport marked a pivotal moment in his life, shifting his focus from petty thievery to the pursuit of knowledge and adventure. Calimport, with its towering palaces, bustling bazaars, and a hidden network of ruins beneath its surface, held mysteries that few dared to explore. The city's connection to the lost dwarven empire of Xanatar, which lay buried in the depths below, became an irresistible lure for Picaroon, igniting his passion for uncovering the secrets of forgotten civilizations. On one of his earliest expeditions, Picaroon uncovered a concealed entrance to an ancient dwarven stronghold beneath Calimport's bustling streets. The entrance, hidden in behind a series of intricate stone mechanisms, was a testament to the skill and craftsmanship of the dwarves who had once called Xanatar home. As he ventured deeper into the stronghold, Picaroon encountered deadly traps that had remained functional for centuries, guarding treasures that had long been forgotten by the world above. His quick reflexes and sharp intellect allowed him to navigate these dangers, leading him to a vast chamber filled with the remnants of a lost dwarven civilization. Among the relics he discovered were masterfully crafted weapons, armor, and tools, all bearing the hallmarks of dwarven craftsmanship. However, it was the inscriptions carved into the walls that truly captivated Picaroon. These ancient texts recounted the history of Xanatar, the once great underground empire of the Shield Dwarves, and detailed the brutal wars they had waged against the Deep Spawn, monstrous creatures capable of spawning entire armies of abominations. The dwarves had fought valiantly, sealing away the Deep Spawn in the darkest recesses of the earth, but the records hinted at a lingering threat that had never been fully vanquished. Recognizing the value of these discoveries, Picaroon began to establish a thriving market for rare dwarven artifacts. He offered these relics to collectors, scholars, and mages across Faerun, quickly earning a reputation as a knowledgeable and resourceful antiquarian. However, his growing fame also attracted the attention of darker forces. Liches, necromancers, and other malevolent beings soon became aware of Picaroon's activities, drawn by the power of the artifacts he had uncovered and their connection to the Deep Spawn Wars. One of Picaroon's most perilous adventures occurred when he discovered a cache of ancient weapons in a forgotten temple deep within Xanatar's ruins. These weapons had been enchanted specifically to combat the Deep Spawn and their minions, making them highly coveted by those with knowledge of their existence. However, Picaroon was not alone in his pursuit of these powerful relics. A cabal of necromancers, led by a lich who had unearthed ancient texts detailing the Deep Spawn Wars, had also set their sights on the weapons. In a deadly game of cat and mouse, Picaroon used his wits and agility to outmaneuver the necromancers, securing the weapons for himself. But his victory came at a cost. The lich swore vengeance, vowing to hunt Picaroon down and claim the artifacts for himself. In another thrilling adventure, Picaroon ventured into the deepest layers of the ruins, where he discovered an ancient dwarven forge powered by a massive geothermal vent. The forge, still functional after centuries, contained blueprints for crafting weapons and armor, designed to counter the regenerative abilities of the Deep Spawn. This discovery attracted the attention of rival treasure hunters and evil intellects eager to control such a powerful resource. In a daring move, Picaroon brokered a deal with a group of dwarven artificers, allowing them to use the forge in exchange for a share of the profits. This partnership not only secured Picaroon's position as a key player in the trade of dwarven artifacts, but also provided him with valuable allies in the dwarven community. Despite his successes, Picaroon's activities did not go unnoticed by the Cult of the Twisted Rune, a secretive group of powerful undead who sought to unlock the secrets of the Deep Spawn and used them to expand their influence. The cult dispatched agents to shadow Picaroon, hoping to uncover the location of the most valuable artifacts he had discovered. In a tense confrontation in the shadowed alleys of Calimport, Picaroon narrowly escaped an ambush by the cult's enforcers. His knowledge of the city's underground passages and his quick thinking allowed him to evade capture, but the encounter left him with a growing awareness of the dangers that his discoveries posed, not just to himself, but to all of Faerun. As Picaroon's fame grew, so did his ambitions. His adventures took him to the farthest reaches of Faerun, where he encountered powerful beings and unearthed legendary artifacts. Among his most outstanding achievements was the retrieval of the monocle of Bagthalos. Aided by his ward, Traskenio Bar of the Brass Dragons, Picaroon tracked down the monocle. This feat not only showcased his resourcefulness, but also placed him in direct conflict with various factions, including the remnants of the Skeletal Finger Thieves Guild and the dangerous cult of the Twisted Rune. His daring theft of the tablet of the Bartrachi from Larloc's lair, replacing it with a clever forgery, further cemented his reputation as one of the most skilled and audacious adventurers of his time. Picaroon's discovery of the lost civilization of Deep Imaska marked the zenith of his scholarly pursuits, but it also led him to uncover secrets far more profound and dangerous than he could have ever anticipated. Deep Imaska, a city shielded from the world by powerful mind-wiping magic, was a treasure trove of lost knowledge and arcane wonders. The journey there was treacherous, with the city's temporal distortions turning what felt like years in the outside world into decades within its confines. During this time, Picaroon meticulously documented everything he encountered, using magically protected journals to ensure that the knowledge he gathered would not be lost to the city's magic. His records included not only the history and culture of Deep Imaska, but also fragments of knowledge that hinted at the existence of beings far beyond mortal comprehension, the Immortals. As Picaroon delved deeper into the secrets of Deep Imaska, he began to piece together the truth about these Immortals, entities of unimaginable power that influenced the very fabric of the multiverse. He learned that the Immortals were not merely beings of immense magical prowess, but were integral to the maintenance and evolution of intelligence across the multiverse. Their influence extended beyond the material plane, touching every corner of existence, guiding the development of civilizations, and ensuring that knowledge and wisdom persisted even in the face of cosmic threats. One of the most startling revelations Picaroon uncovered was the role of the Immortals in guarding the multiverse against the return of the Great Old Ones, ancient malevolent beings whose re-emergence would spell doom for all existence. The Immortals, Picaroon discovered, were the only hope the multiverse had of surviving such an event. However, this knowledge was fiercely protected by numerous powerful entities, including Vecna, the god of secrets and undeath. Vecna, whose own ambitions were tied to uncovering and controlling such forbidden lore, had placed numerous barriers around this knowledge, making it nearly impossible for any but the most determined scholars to learn the truth. Despite the dangers, Picaroon continued his research, knowing that the preservation of this knowledge was crucial to the survival of the multiverse. His work in Candlekeep, where he eventually became a sage, allowed him to correspond with other great scholars of the Forgotten Realms, sharing what little he could of his findings while continuing to seek out more. Among his correspondence was Caderly Bonadus, the spiritual leader of the Spirit's Soaring Cathedral. Through their exchanges, Picaroon learned many things, including how to construct and arm a special oil of explosion crossbow bolt, an invaluable tool in the defense against extraplanar threats. In return for this knowledge, Picaroon sent Caderly and his family gifts from his homeland of Luiren, specially made halfling-segmented utility poles and combat yo-yos, tools that were both practical and steeped in the martial traditions of his people. These exchanges were more than just the trading of knowledge and gifts. They were a means of building alliances and ensuring that, should the worst come to pass, the knowledge of how to defend the multiverse would be in the hands of those who could use it. Picaroon's later years were marked by a deepening understanding of the cosmic forces at play in the multiverse and a growing sense of responsibility. He knew that the knowledge he had uncovered could not be hoarded but must be shared with those who would use it wisely. And so, through his writings, his correspondences, and his work as a sage, Picaroon Highhand continued to weave a network of scholars and adventurers who, like him, were committed to the preservation of knowledge and the defense of the multiverse against the darkness that threatened to consume it. In the year 1496 DR, Picaroon's life took a transcendental turn when he was suddenly drawn to a remote location, and it was revealed his long life was just one of many lived by a reincarnating soul who had achieved an application to become immortal. He met with Pan, an eternal of the multiversal sphere of thought. This meeting, marked by a profound exchange of memories and feats, led to Picaroon's ascension to immortality. As he stood before Pan, Picaroon recounted his greatest accomplishments, from the retrieval of the monocle of Bagthalos to his time in Deep Imaska. Pan, impressed by Picaroon's courage, determination, and unwavering commitment to his tasks, offered him a place among the hierarchy of the sphere of thought. Picaroon accepted, understanding the immense responsibilities and power that came with his new role. With this acceptance, his body was transformed into pure energy, propelling him into the higher dimensions, where his incredible journey would continue in realms beyond mortal comprehension. In Dungeons & Dragons, immortals are incredibly powerful beings who have ascended beyond the limits of mortal existence. Their roles and tasks are as varied as they are complex, often involving the stewardship of entire planes, the creation and safeguarding of artifacts, and the guidance of mortal civilizations. The responsibilities of immortals are defined by the sphere of power to which they belong: matter, energy, time, thought, or entropy. Immortals are often assigned specific tasks that align with the goals of their sphere. For example, an immortal of the sphere of thought, like Rune, Picaroon Highhand in his immortal form, would be concerned with the growth, development, and preservation of knowledge and intelligence across the multiverse. These immortals might guide scholars, protect lost knowledge, or influence the evolution of thought and culture in various worlds. Their work is subtle, often performed through mortal agents or through manipulation of events to ensure that knowledge flourishes or is protected from forces that would destroy it. The official assignments for immortals are generally issued by their superiors, known as hierarchs, who oversee the various spheres. These assignments can range from overseeing a specific world or dimension to more abstract tasks like ensuring the continuation of a philosophical or cultural ideal across the multiverse. Immortals operate both openly in their godlike forms and covertly, influencing events from behind the scenes. They are often engaged in cosmic struggles against other immortals or powerful entities, including the forces of entropy which seek to bring about the end of all things. As an entry-level immortal of the sphere of thought, Rune would possess a variety of formidable abilities, though he would still be at the beginning of his journey as an immortal. His powers would include heightened intelligence and wisdom, the ability to traverse the planes with ease and access to powerful mental abilities such as telepathy, mind control, and the capacity to influence the thoughts and decisions of others. Rune's role would likely involve tasks such as protecting important knowledge, guiding mortals who seek enlightenment, and defending against threats to intellectual and cultural growth. Moreover, Rune's responsibilities would extend to the protection of the multiverse from existential threats, such as the return of the Great Old Ones. This task is particularly sensitive as it involves forbidden knowledge guarded by powerful entities like Vecna. Rune's work in this area would require him to be cautious, using his intellect and influence to gather allies and prepare defenses against these ancient evils without drawing undue attention to himself or his plans. Rune, who once lived as the hobbit thief Picaroon Highhand, has returned to Toril in mortal disguise for several compelling reasons that align with his goals as an immortal of the sphere of thought. Although he possesses the power to manifest his true immortal form and utilize his abilities on Toril, Rune deliberately chooses to refrain from doing so. His decision is deeply rooted in his fascination with the world, his ongoing pursuit of knowledge, and his broader agenda for both his personal growth and the protection of the multiverse. Rune's choice to live as a mortal on Toril allows him to gather experience and knowledge without revealing his true nature. By remaining in disguise, he can interact with the inhabitants of Toril naturally and influence events without the risk of disrupting the delicate balance of the world. This subtle approach is in keeping with the values of the sphere of thought, which emphasizes the preservation of knowledge and the careful guidance of intelligence across the multiverse. Toril captivates Rune for its rich diversity in cultures, ecosystems, and magical phenomena. The planet's history is marked by the rise and fall of empires, wars, and the influence of powerful beings, providing Rune with endless opportunities to study how knowledge evolves. The world's deep connections to various planes of existence also make it an ideal place for Rune to explore the interactions between different dimensions. Rune's long-term agenda on Toril includes preserving and cataloguing the world's knowledge, ensuring that it remains accessible to future generations. This is a personal mission and part of his role within the sphere of thought. He is also focused on understanding how the people of Toril respond to existential threats such as the potential return of the Great Old Ones, and how they can be guided to defend against such dangers. The Highhand Spire, which Rune constructed in the Mintan Islands, serves as his base of operations. This location provides him with the solitude necessary for his research and the strategic advantage of being somewhat removed from the mainland's more populated and politically turbulent regions. The Spire is more than just a place of study, it's also a fortress of knowledge and power, where Rune can safely conduct his investigations into the mysteries of the multiverse and prepare for the challenges that lie ahead. The Spire's remote location in the Mintan Islands allows Rune to observe the world at a distance, intervening only when necessary, and it serves as a place where he can accumulate the experience and power needed to ascend further in the ranks of immortality.